Yeah, I'm Tillie. I'm a second year here at El Camino, and I went to high school at Peninsula.
Okay.
And I'm James. I also went to high school at Peninsula. I am a first-year freshman here at Elko.
Okay. What got you into pole vaulting?
So originally it was my older brother was a pole vaulter, and before him my uncle was a pole vaulter. And so my brother was running cross country, and then he was looking for something different to do in the spring, so he joined up. And then I didn't want to do soccer or any other kind of ball sport, so I followed him, and then I realized I loved it and started doing track ever since.
Cool. How about you?
Yeah, I did gymnastics throughout my elementary years, and then I stopped around middle school because I knew I didn't want to continue it past high school, so I wanted to try something different in the in-between years. So my friend that did gymnastics with me, she transitioned to pole vault when she got to high school, so it was very natural, like, hey, come try it out. I was thinking about doing track and field, so I was kind of roped in similarly, and then just ended up loving it. So still stuck with it.
So your friend, was she also a pole vaulter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my friend vaulted throughout high school. Yeah.
Okay, and your friend was also
My older brother.
Your older brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he didn't continue. His school didn't have a track team.
I know you, I believe, came in fourth last year, but the top, all four of you had the same height. It was it was like splitting hairs, and I think you're ranked third or fourth in this right now.
I have no idea. Okay,
frankly.
Yeah.
Pretty high though.
Well, yeah, I don't care as much about the rankings.
Yeah,
I like making heights.
That's good. What's influenced your success so far in pole vaulting? What do you think? Any one person or anything?
Yeah,
else?
definitely my old high school coach. He really instilled a lot of core things, and the way I like to phrase it is, it took me like 3 years of vaulting with him to realize that he was never teaching me how to be a pole vaulter. He was teaching me how to be a good athlete, and he was teaching me how to be a hardworking person. And once I kind of realized that and started changing the mentality, not to just be a good pole vaulter, but really, focus on being a good athlete, focus on, working hard, that's when it kind of switched from learning about those things to learning how to be a pole vaulter. And then I kind of got to a point in high school that, I was making good heights. I was, captain of my team. I was helping coach some of my team as a coach had a health problem. But yeah, definitely he influenced me the most in self-improvement and just athletics as a whole.
Okay. How about you?
100%. Yeah, I think I'm in total agreement that coach. Yeah, our coach from high school played such a big influence.
Right.
Especially
you guys went to the same high school, had the same coach.
Greg Miguel.
Yes, Greg Miguel.
And you guys have known each other since, I understand, kindergarten or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Wow. What's been your proudest moment in this sport so far?
I think, I guess there's been lots of moments, but I think one recent one was last year when I vaulted over 12 feet. I think that was a big barrier that it's not as much as the standard mark because people are vaulting so much higher now, but I think for me, I stopped pole vaulting sophomore year of high school, and then I graduated after my junior year. So when I came to El Camino, I was kind of just getting back into it. So when I finally reached that was last year, April, it was okay, this is kind of fun, I'm enjoying this, and yeah, and I think what added to that was my family got to be there, and then my friend who moved out of state, she came back to visit. It was my birthday weekend, and then she came back, and it was cool to see I think when everything's when my family is there, when friends are there, there's just this peace that comes over.
Yeah.
And that I think that really tied into me vaulting well at that weekend.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. How about you?
Yeah, I think for me, I think the most proud I've ever been as a pole vaulter was my senior year of high school. When I really loved my team and I was a captain and doing all this stuff. And that was the first year that we sent 4 pole vaulters from our team to CIF.
Wow.
And not all of them made it to the next level, but it was really cool being a part of, coaching and working with, these other athletes and, developing as a leader, and then getting to see the fruit of that was really, really cool. And just being able to see my friends and see the people I've been training with for the past few years, reach just a level of CIF. That was really cool, and I was really proud to be a part of that. And also making 14th the first time. That was pretty dope. But
that's awesome. I noticed from the limited time I've seen a few pole vault jumps, but I don't know a whole lot about the sport. But I notice every time I see every time I've ever witnessed it, every jumper seems to have their own little ritual that they do a little bit different. One girl I saw was looking up at the pole, looking down, and she leans back, and you kind of do your thing, and everyone kind of does their own thing. So what is your pre-jump ritual, and like why do you do it? Is there? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good. Maybe that's not something good to ask.
That's a great question. It's kind of one of those things that seems, from the outside, it seems like a really big deal, and then on the pole vaulters' ends, some people don't even realize that they're doing it. Some people do. I have reasons behind the stuff that I do. You know, I bring the pole above my head, and I check to feel the bend. That gives me the confidence boost that, you know, yeah, I can bend this pole. And then I bring it down to the side, and I check my grip down here, and then I raise it, and I come forward, and I come back, and I do that twice. And I do that to check my balance, because sometimes I can be a little bit teeter-tottery. And so that kind of, you know, lean forward, lean back, lean forward, that just gives me a sense, you know, is the wind blowing in one direction, or, you know, am I kind of feeling off to one side or not? And that just kind of, it gives me confidence to keep going and push forward. But I know some people, they do all kinds of things. Some people give a big yell before they do it. But our coach here at Elko, he's more of the belief that less is more. So he likes it when you just get on the runway and vault, but
Yeah.
I still do my whole thing.
Okay. How about you?
I think I'm on the side of like, oh, I don't really, maybe notice what I do every time. I mean, straight up, I kind of just pray right before I go to like home. But then one thing I will do is I'll bring my top hand, kind of like I'll shift it around the pole, and that's mostly to see if I need more chalk or not, because my hands kind of if I get nervous, my hands start to get really sweaty. I think that comes also from gymnastics, but at that moment, if I go around and gets a little, like it feels like I'm slipping, I'll just reach down and grab a little more chalk. So that's something just like small I do.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You guys both mentioned some things about the pole. Is your pole the same as her? Are they?
No.
Okay, so
If I vaulted with her pole from the step I'm doing, I could snap it.
okay, so how do you choose a pole? How do you, how does a pole vaulter choose a pole? Like, how did you choose yours?
Yeah, so first off, the poles have a length and they have a weight. And I want to say the weight is the amount of force that it can take, but I don't think that's entirely right.
There's a physics behind it.
There's a ton of physics behind it that I have since forgotten. But the rules for the competition is whatever weight you are, you can't use a pole that's below that weight. So I'm about 150 pounds. I can't use a pole that's weighted for 140 pounds, because then there's a risk that I might snap it, or that it's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
So the difference of weight, you know, I might be 150, somebody else might be 170. The minimum pole that we can legally use in competition is going to be different because of that weight.
Right.
But then you can also add things, and then that's the baseline. From there, when you're stronger and you have more technique, you can use bigger and bigger poles from there. So I'm 150 pounds. The biggest pole I could probably use is a 15170. So that's 20 pounds. Excuse me. That's 20 pounds above what my body weight is.
Okay.
But for somebody that's already 170 pounds, that's going to be the smallest pole that they could reasonably use. And then the length of the pole is, you start on a shorter pole when you're beginning, and then as you get better and better, you move your grip up, and again, lots of physics involved in this. And as you get faster and faster, it goes up and up and up, and that's how you just go on to longer and longer poles.
So as you get more and more confident, you're able to grab higher up the pole. And I haven't seen too many. I've got a few of your jumps on video, and I stopped one of the frames, like, oh my gosh, that thing looks like it's going to bend way. So I guess you want something that's going to, you want that pole to bend so it like can take you over, but you don't want it to snap, obviously, right? So that's, I guess, a fine line to figure out too.
Well, if your equipment is in good shape, and we check over our equipment all the time. If there are cracks in the poles or anything like that, that's not safe to vault on. And we do a good job of making sure all of our gear is safe, and not vaulting on illegal poles, because there are people that, you know, will vault on too small of poles, and that's how people get hurt, is they're using equipment that they're not supposed to be using.
You have anything you want to add to that?
I think that was explained very well. Honestly,
Okay.
I told you I'm the talker, so.
Okay. how do you manage your fear when you're vaulting at newer heights that you've never got to, or I don't know. I mean, I'm just okay. Here's my pole vaulting experience. I'm in high school. I'm a distance runner, and my buddy in high school says, "You want to try the pole vault?" I said, "What do I have to do?" "Well, you grab the pole." I'm like, "Okay, what? See that?" I'm like, he's like, "See that hole over there? Run as fast as you can." I'm like, "No, not doing it." Okay. So I was like, "No, I'm not going to even do it." So I'm always amazed at any pole vaulter that wants to do this, that can do it. So how do you manage your fear of like, because it's, you know, it's like you're one moment you're here and the next moment you're 20 feet up in the air. How do you guys manage that? Or are you guys just like, we're not even afraid. We've done this so much.
You go first on this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Let's do the last one.
Yeah, I think mine's pretty simple, but I think maybe you kind of mentioned, but like the mental, the physical, the spiritual, emotional, like they're all so connected. So I think there's kind of two things that help me, and one is practical, in that we take so many jumps during practice, and like I think it's different if you have a lot of jumps where you run through, but thankfully, like a lot of my jumps, I take off the ground. Like today didn't show as well, but you know, you run down there and you jump. So I think when you get to the higher heights, you think of one cue that's gonna, like even during practice, I think of one cue that's gonna help me take off. And for me, that's the jump. Some people it's to get inverted. Some people it's to quicken their steps at the end. Whatever the one cue is, just to focus on that alone. Not looking at the bar, like how high it is, because as soon as I do that, I like crunch up and I tense up. But I think just thinking of one cue, and then yeah, like for me, that's jump off the ground. And then the other part, like I said, I have to calm, like take a few deep breaths, pray before I go, and remember that at the end of the day, it's like we get to do this, we get to vault, and it's a blessing to do it. So. Yeah,
definitely.
You hit the nail on the head. Pole vaulting seems a lot like really scary to an outsider, but something that's when I describe it, if you take a stick and you put it on the ground and you jump over the stick, and you just take a little hop, congrats, you're a pole vaulter. Mm-hmm. And just take that same thing and just start adding on to it. Mm-hmm. And you don't start going over a 20-foot bar, right? Mm-hmm. That's absurd. Nobody's going that high. You start going over something that's just getting onto the mat. Mm-hmm. And then you build up step by step by step, and eventually you look up at the heights and it's like, wow, I can jump over a semi-truck. We also get asked a lot like, oh, how are you not so scared of falling? It's like, well, when you're pole vaulting, falling is when you're in competition, you're trying to go up, not down. So you're not worried about going down. You're going to land on the mat. You're trying to go up as high as you can. And the fall is like the quickest part, because you're looking up at the bar going, "Oh, please don't fall down." So, but it's definitely a lot of mentality. Mm-hmm. It's like, for me, you talk about the key phrase. For me, mine is commit. It's like, I know I have the strength, I know I have the speed. It's just I have to remember that I have the strength and the speed, and then getting the pole down and taking off.
That's what seems most impressive to me about the pole. Like I work with a lot of distance runners, and they're all about, okay, I got to do my 7-minute pace over the marathon. Okay, but this is like, okay, you're doing it, and it's going to be done in 15 seconds, and you better be fully committed. It's such a different mindset. It's really, it's pretty amazing. I'm reminded of they say that baseball players, the home run hitters, like historically Reggie Jackson, Hank Aaron, whoever. They get the most home runs, but they also get the most strikeouts a lot of times. A lot of the home run hitters that have the most home runs they get the most strikeouts. So it seems like pole vaulting to a certain extent could be that way. You get out there, all right, I did 15, 12 feet, whatever it is. I did 12 times, I didn't even get over the bar or whatever, right? So how do you stay focused along similar lines? How do you stay focused after a failed attempt? What do you guys do?
Well, something that's key to pole vaulting is that failure is in the nature of pole vaulting. Mm-hmm. Every time you go to a meet, you are going to mess up. Mm-hmm. You are going to end with not making a bar. It doesn't matter if you've PR'd 3 times, you're going to end with not making the next height. And so with vaulting comes this just inevitability of you're eventually going to fail. But how long can you keep succeeding?
Right.
And I think that's, it's sometimes scary to, think, oh, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to get a PR? But I think pole vaulting is almost the quintessential of the reverse of that, which is, instead of being so scared of what if I mess up, it's, well, what if I don't? What if I don't mess up?
Right.
What if I keep getting better and better and better? Because I know I'm going to end. It is inevitable that I'm going to end not making the height that I wanted to.
Right.
But how far can I go before that happens?
Right.
And I think that's something that's really cool about pole vault that I can't think of another sport that has that same thing.
Yeah.
And so, do we make PRs every single meet? No. But you really learn how to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
And how to not get beat down and be grateful for, we had a meet last week. Terrible crosswind, it was getting dark, we were running out of time, just as bad as conditions as you can get. And it's just, you can't get down, it's just, okay, the conditions are terrible. Right. Let's see how high we can go.
Right.
And keeping that mentality and keeping, always staying positive and always, not letting mistake keep you down.
Right.
It's so key to just not backing down and just don't worry about failure. Worry about success.
Yeah.
Like add something like really quickly. I think I can't say it's not my idea. I heard it from a video, pole vaulting video. But it's like the worst thing that you can do is like start talking right after your vault. And I think pole vault takes a lot of trust. So I think afterwards, it's like, yes, maybe look back and see what you did. But we have to keep moving forward, right? Because if you keep dwelling on that, then I think that's when you start to get in your head. So taking a moment just after you vault, don't say anything right off the bat, but listen to what the coach has to say, and just continue to trust you've done this vault so many times, trust that if it's you need to move back your step, and then trust your physical fitness during it. So
Yeah. Trust what you're doing day in and day out to,
Yeah.
That's good. Talk to me about a typical training week. What do you guys do for training? Well, I know you do some running. You're in some of the running events. You're in some of the running events as well. Okay, so maybe you do some running training. Mm-hmm. What do you do? But typical training week, because out of pole vault, I don't know. What does a pole vault do besides pole vault? I don't know.
Well, I think both of us are anomalies because we do a lot more outside the scope of vaulting. I mean, you do. I don't know how much stuff Tillie does, but I like to hike a lot. So a lot of the weekends that I'm not competing, I go do hikes and stuff like that. But I work as a kayak tour guide.
Okay. Wow.
So lots of kayaking and lots of hiking just in my free time. But as far as training, our coach here has a philosophy that for all field athletes, if you're running a track event, you train like the event you would have. You train the event you would have run as a track athlete. So for me, I probably would have been like a 400-meter runner. And so he has me train like a 400-meter runner. So probably twice a week I'm doing, 400-meter stuff. Sometimes workouts are 600s. That was more conditioning though, but.
So you're running twice a week?
Yeah, running twice a week, then.
And then you're doing pole vaulting like twice a week too?
Yeah, so generally pole vault twice, running twice. Those can sometimes be split between like breakdowns or sprint training, and then usually we try to get into the weight room twice.
Twice a week.
In season, that's what it looks like.
Okay, that's a pretty busy season. Okay.
She has the better answer for that. She actually knows what all this stuff is.
Okay. What part of the vault? I understand there's the approach, the plant, the takeoff, the bar clearance. What took the longest for you guys to master?
Well, my old coach has this great saying, which was another thing that he would tell me right before my vaults, which is, James, more cowbell, which is just like, it's like that SNL skit where, And basically what that means is that vault was good. You just need to do more of everything though. So in terms of mastery, it's always a process. I don't think I have anything mastered. I don't think any vaulter in the world will tell you that they have everything mastered. Because pole vaulting is more of a question of how do we get to the next height.
Right.
And so the trickiest thing to figure out is definitely like having confidence to just get on the runway and do it. But it's always an ongoing battle. It's always figuring out the next technique, the next way to do things.
How about you? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I would say for me the biggest thing that has been took the longest to really get down was the approach and takeoff. Because like getting upside down, that came very naturally through gymnastics. I was like, yeah, I want to be upside down, but you can't get upside down until you've gotten into the pit. And then also just running in gymnastics, at least the way I was trained, is very different than how you run going down the runway. Like I would run with straight arms, and it's like we're holding a pole, but you know you have to be relaxing your shoulders. You got to get your knees up. And I think it's like the more speed, the higher you're gonna go. The bigger poles you can get on. The other stuff will come. Like the other stuff came very naturally for me, getting over the bar, going upside down. But yeah, really once I got that rundown, once I got the takeoff, that's when everything started to click. But it took the longest to get down. Like when we started high school, we didn't bend the pole. We started with the straight pole, so the pole would stay straight, and we would just do the second part of the vault. And then we dropped down to a smaller pole and we started bending, and that's like where the plant came in. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I think for me the biggest thing was learning how to run through their approach and then take off the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you mentioned something about another meet that you went to recently, and it was terrible conditions. How do you deal with it? It's windy. Like today was a nice day to vault, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, it's going to be a great meet. Saturday you have a meet.
Yes.
What if it's windy?
gonna be
Like,
rainy.
how are you gonna? Oh.
Saturday's gonna be raining.
Yeah. I think we're too blessed with this good weather for
Yeah,
practice.
seriously. We get good weather at practice, terrible weather at meets.
Yeah.
How do you like? I would think the wind is probably the hardest to deal with.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gnarly.
You just kind of just fight it, or what? Any strategy in particular you guys do, or?
Sometimes with the wind, if we're talking wind specifically, sometimes the wind will be coming from behind, and we like that. That's a tailwind. So that will help you with your run and with the momentum carrying into the vault. But there's days like when we went last weekend, it was a crosswind, so it's coming straight to the side. And if you're holding a 13, 14-foot pole in the air, it's like it goes around. You can't hold it straight. So it's hard to go into the box. So if that's the case and it's safe to vault and we still have to vault, sometimes what I'll do is I'll drop down to a shorter step. So like usually I go from an 8-step, which is 8 lefts, but I'll drop down to like my 5 or 6 steps. So I don't have to run as far down the runway, and I can kind of control the pole. So I don't have to hold as high up. I can start it with a little lower. And I'll also go to a smaller pole, again, so I have more control.
Wow.
But like last weekend, we had to completely wait. Like we had to wait for the wind because it wasn't safe to vault, and that's often the case with the wind. It's just not safe because once you get up into the air, you can be blown certain ways.
Yeah.
The worst is a headwind when it comes straight at you, and it's like you. I mean, even if you try to run into a headwind, it's like you're pushing, but try to hold something too. It makes it really difficult.
Right. And how much does a pole weigh roughly again? How much? I guess yours weighs more than her.
Yeah, mine are definitely heavier than yours. They're like double yours.
Yeah, what
I don't know. They're definitely more than 5 pounds.
Oh, they're not. Okay.
Definitely more than 5.
Mine are. At least. I don't know about yours.
I think it's more the length of it.
Okay, yeah.
They're really
so it's not like it's a 20-pound, 30-pound.
No, it's not. Not that
That's
heavy.
really okay.
Yeah,
but the length is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Although pole vaulters have a very weird talent. We're very good at moving furniture because we're so experienced with long, like oblong objects that aren't super heavy but really awkward. So if you're ever moving houses, call a pole vaulter. They might be really good at that.
I understand that way back in the day, like before I guess the 1920s, when they pole vaulted, they would land on sawdust, and you had to land on your feet. Like now everyone just kind of goes over and wherever they can get over, right? But then they were like, no. So you had to think about how you're going to come down, which sounds a whole lot harder. Wow.
So I'm a business administration major.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to transfer sometime in the next year or so.
Okay.
So if this video goes out to anyone that's recruiting for pole vault, I'm available.
All right. So you plan on pole vaulting college?
I would really like to.
Okay, that's good.
We'll just see. We'll see how things turn out.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to transfer either for a business administration track and go into either operations and logistics, or go into construction management.
Yeah.
And I'm planning on getting either my electrician's license or welding license.
Good.
And then working something in construction or manufacturing, something like that.
Good.
And hopefully, maybe one day opening my own business. But kind of work blue collar industry, but the white collar side of the blue collar stuff. So
skills are needed now. That's good.
Yeah.
How about you?
I should connect you with my cousin. But
Your dad offered.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I think like career-wise, I'm studying health sciences right now.
Oh, good.
So I've been recently introduced to physician's assistant, PA.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking into that track. Yeah, so I'm not really sure where that's going to take me, but like right now I'm doing EMT stuff. So maybe paramedic route, maybe PA route, somewhere in that realm.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for those who want to take up the pole vault? Like someone's new, they're thinking out, they're on the fence. What do you suggest? Maybe they're in high school and they're like,
I would definitely say don't be scared by how it looks. It looks really scary and it looks really undoable. But the thing about vaulting is, well, for one, it's hard. It is very hard to do, but it's so much fun. And it's daunting, and you do it for the first month and you go nowhere, and it's frustrating, and you could just go run an event and it's just running in straight line. You don't want to do that, but commit to it and stick with it, because there'll be a practice. For me, it was like within the first few months I was vaulting, and I went from not being able to make a 6-foot bungee, and I made like an 8-foot crossbar within a practice.
wow.
Because when you figure it out and when you start being able to have fun with it, it is the greatest sport you will do in your life.
Yeah.
And it's daunting, but it is incredibly fun.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, don't be afraid to try. Like the first thing that came to mind was like, just do it. Like the people, especially the people in pole vault, like I think we're a very close-knit group, so it might seem intimidating to like kind of jump in, but the pole vaulters are some of the greatest people I've ever met. Like they hold a pole vault summit every year, and I got the chance to go my freshman year of high school, and you get like all the elite vaulters come, middle schoolers come, all the way up until master vaulters, and then there's like 20 pole vault pits all set up in Reno, Nevada, and then you get to watch the elite vault, you get to talk with them. So I think the community is so great, and like James said at the beginning, like pole vault doesn't, I mean a lot of sports do this, but pole vault doesn't just shape you as a vaulter, but really as a person. Learning the discipline, learning how to get over those mental blocks, it is so mental, and how to push forward, and how to have fun when like in the midst of training. So I think it really shapes you as a whole person, and of course it is like one of the best things and most fun things I've ever done. So give it a try.
You can go up to any random pole vault parent, and you can ask, or any random pole vault parent or any coach, and you can ask them for help, and they'll help you. And I can't think, like, I think that's something really unique to vaulting that other events in track don't have. Is it's not about who can there's, well, I guess there is the aspect of trying to win, but there's so much community of trying to help each other improve and trying to become better, not just as individuals, but as a sport. And the National Vault Summit, it's crazy. Like, I've gotten to meet one of the best, like, the guy who competed for the Olympics, for the U.S. national team. I got to meet him. I have a professional vaulter who signed my spikes. Like, what? I can't think of a football player that gets that experience, or soccer. And it's really just, pole vault has built-in community unlike any other sport, probably in the world. It's just incredible.
Wow. What do you think Tillie's greatest strength is as a pole vaulter?
As a pole vaulter?
Yeah.
Tillie trains in a way that I have never seen in another person. Over the summers, we'll do workouts together, and I'll go through, she'll pull something up and put me through the worst workout I've ever done in my entire life, and go, that's set 1 of 3. And then we finish those, and then it's, all right, now we're gonna do core. And it's, we're doing core. And there are so few people that I know that have such a passion for training and a passion for just pushing past what you think your own limits are. And I can't think of another person that has shown me the limits of my physical training ability like Tillie has. And she does it all with a smile, and all with encouragement, and all with an appreciation and a love for the game, love for the sport. And it is one of the most admirable and strongest attributes that she has as an athlete and as a pole vaulter.
That's awesome. How about you? What's James' strengths that makes him a great
Charismatic.
pole vaulter?
Yeah. I think there's so many things, but I think one would be commitment. I don't think it was built until later on, but I think I'm thankful that like God put certain people in his life or in certain events that kept him in the sport. But there's a commitment to coming each day and to showing up. And even at the meet, I was like, oh, it's okay if I don't vault. Like, it's windy. I don't really mind if I don't vault. He's like, no, I need a vault today. Like, we're gonna vault today.
Oh.
And that like gave me hope. I was like, okay, let me pray. Like, Lord, would you calm the winds? Like okay, let's do this. So I think when you have that attitude on the team, someone who's willing to show up and who wants to be there, that just gives you, like, that's what allows me to push. Because there'll be days where I'm like, I don't really want to do this. Like, yeah, I get to do this. I'm grateful, but in my heart, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to be here. Like, this is taking up a lot of time. But when you come and you're like, hey, let's do this. Like, let's vault. And even if it's not a good day, like, let's keep trying. Like, let's keep going through it together. So I think that commitment, yeah, it adds to the team a lot.
And you've known him for so long that if he says, hey, we're gonna vault, you can't just say no.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's great. Well, thank you very much. You guys are great.
Yeah.
Good luck on your meet this weekend. Good luck
Thank
going
you.
on
Thank you.
the rest of the meets. I'll be there hopefully shooting some of them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll catch us on a day with some good weather.
Yes.
Yes.
We have
All right.
not had one of those.
All right.
That's true. This season's been a little rough.
Yeah, it's been a rough season.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.